Right, hello everybody, what is up? This is Eddie Niddy and welcome to another video on the channel, and I'm going to show you the best RTG teams to do with real life stadiums, and the main one is Arminia Bielefeld. How much they have fallen in recent years has been nothing short of remarkable so far. You know, after having a few great years, obviously getting up into the Bundesliga, and then back-to-back relegations is not what you really want to see. They really have struggled a lot off the pitch financially, and they've obviously lost a lot of their best players through leaving through, you know, obviously relegation and going down the few years. They used to have the likes of Robin Hack playing for them, and they are a decent club, you know, in Germany. They do have an in real life stadium. When you go through and assess their squad, they do have a pretty small squad compared to what you might be used to. Only 26 players, and then again 26 players. Let me just have a look again, sorry. That 5 of them are loan players, so you're in a bit of a mess in terms of you know, the squad. You don't necessarily have, well, you don't have a small budget, 4 million, starting to work as. When you look at the exact team 11, it definitely is good enough to get promoted its first season, 100%, you know, to get promoted up to the Bundesliga second tier. You're going to have a lot of teams competing with you, 1860 Munchen. You're going to be coming against the likes of Dortmund's second team. When you look for the starting 11 here, there probably is the biggest issue in the team is squad depth. Definitely. You know, they have a very low squad depth of players, especially if you take out all the loan players. If you're looking to add more to this team, you definitely need a few centre mids. As you see here, the 2 of the centre mids that are playing are right wingers and centre forwards. You do have Valladolid as well, who's a name which some of you guys might remember from used to play for Schalke. Close as well as the striker who has been around for many years in Germany and knows where the back of the net is. Like most recently at Paderborn in the Bundesliga, if I'm not wrong. Lannert used to play for 1860 Munchen, so you do have a few familiar names in the side. You do have a young defence. Like I said, nobody above in the main defence here is below the age of 26. But yeah, it's a solid team. I would highly suggest doing them. Arminia Bielefeld. Definitely try and use the youth academy. That could be really important with this team. And try and rebuild them back up to a Bundesliga team. That would be my biggest suggestion. But try and decrease squad age and see if you can try and bring them up in the leagues. Okay, so next thing I'm going to suggest you is Real Valladolid, who are a very good team for this division. But I think one of the main reasons why I wanted to suggest this team is because, if any of you guys don't know, their owner is one of the greatest footballers ever in R9, so I feel like that would be really cool to try and maybe use it as a pathway to bring through like South American players and Brazilian players. But anyway, I think that's just a cool fact, you know, to throw out there, you know, with obviously Brazil. Could be quite cool considering R9 is the owner. I think that would be a really cool team to do. When you look for their squad is definitely good enough to get promoted 100%. There are a few areas that they are starting to age in, like Mastic would definitely last you perfectly in the season, but 34 overall, you need to look at a younger goalkeeper to bring in. Same with the left back. One of your highest rated left back is 74 rated, 33, even though he is a good left back that could last you a while. They do obviously have quite a few already players in the club which are South American. Obviously, they've already got quite a few Brazilians in the club, as we just gone through, like Marcus Andre. They have got this guy here, Kennedy, formerly of Chelsea. But I remember this guy, a lot of high talk about this guy when he was a youngster. It'd be quite cool to try and bring him back. They've got Lucas Rosa as well. So already quite a few Brazilians. They got Gustavo Henrique at left back as well. So already a lot of Brazilians, and Jean as well, another Brazilian goalkeeper. So it'd be quite cool if you could maybe make this a club a bit more of a Brazilian themed club to go along with their ownership. But yeah, when you look for their squad, it's a very good squad. Very good squad. Definitely one of the best in the league. Try and compete with the likes of you know, Espanyol, who are owned by the PSG owners. If anybody didn't know that. Eibar, really club Levante, after recent relegation. Elche, another great club. Leganés, who was the team that I was thinking about suggesting. But I think this should be a really cool series to do, especially considering they are owned by R9. How many times have I said R9 here? I do not know. I think they've got nice kits as well, and they've got an in-real-life stadium, which is always perfect. But then again, the only reason why I'm doing this is just the best RTG teams with in-real-life stadiums. But yeah, Real Valladolid. Next to It's Just You is definitely a top one as you guys see with all the critical objective financially, youth development and domestic success. This would be probably one of your most toughest career modes. And they are also, I believe I just checked, I think 2 places off the relegation zone in the Bundesliga second division, which is unacceptable for a club the size of Schalke, which is really surprising actually, because I thought they would dominate it, use their quality to come back up. They had a busy transfer window, you know, in real life, bringing in so many new names, so many players leaving them, like Lasami, who's another really good, exciting fresh start. Templeman came in and joined, Schallenberg came in and joined, who else? Callas, I believe he's new, I can't remember seeing him from last year. I believe Muller in the goalkeeper spot as well, he's new. Baumgartel, he's new. When you look at this team is definitely better than where it is. This team is definitely better than where it is. But yeah, Schalke, obviously a huge club. It'll be cool to try and get them rivaling with Dortmund again. They were in the Champions League not too long ago. Well, I don't know, a bit of a long time ago, but not too long ago. I think, what was it, about 8 years ago, 7 years ago? They faced him against the likes of Manchester City, you know, in the Champions League. I remember Farman got a special card that year. But yeah, obviously they're a big club, Schalke. Got a sick stadium in real life. And it would be really cool to try and rebuild this squad. It generally would be such a cool idea. You know, trying to trim down some of the fat of the squad as well, I think could be quite important. Especially considering, you know, like I said, the club is financially not in the best of positions. So I do feel like if you do have a few players which you get big offers in for, try and accept them. They do have a lot of players with face scans, which I feel like is really cool. After recently being in the Bundesliga, a lot of their team do have face scans, as you guys can see as I'm going through them here, even though you guys can't see because my big head's blocking the way. They do have one of the most exciting youngsters in the league in Audrago. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's really good. 17 years old, 65 overall. But yeah, relegate, go through so many managers, but I feel like to try and rebuild them and use their youth players, use their youth academy, I think it would be such a cool idea and would be such a cool career mode to do. Next team against Just You is one of the lowest rated teams in the Championship, along with the newly promoted sides like Rotherham over recent years. But however, most recently the league which they came from was the Premier League after being relegated a few seasons ago. And I don't believe, apart from last season, they didn't finish above like mid-tables. They had a pretty sorrow past few years, Huddersfield Town, and in real life, again, massively struggling in real life at the moment. Huddersfield Town currently sit just above the relegation zone and really struggling to pick up wins. But as you go through their squad is an aging squad again. They do have a few youth players in here, but you look at some of their players like Lee's 32, Ruffles is 29, Pearson is 29, Turton is 30, Hogg, their captain, is 34. So yeah, they definitely are struggling in some of the age department. They do have a stadium in real life, and obviously they have a stadium in real life, but they have a stadium in FIFA, which I think is pretty important. Also interesting to know, Kyle Hudlin, 60 rated, 23 years of age. He is 6'9", so I reckon even if you just bring this guy on, bring him on for corners, start him, he'd be a pretty cool player to try and use and a player to try and improve. If you look at this Huddersfield Town, especially in recent years over across, they've gone through so many managerial changes, you know, since being relegated to the Championship. They've had Mark Hudson, they've had currently got Darren Moore, they had Neil Warnock, they had that Mark Fotheringham, they had Schofield, Danny Schofield, they had Carlos Corbehan, which probably been their only successful one, along with Warnock, I suppose so. But yeah, Carlos Corbehan. So they've gone through so many managerial changes, you know, since being relegated. Danny Cowley's another one as well. So that's 7 managers. And I believe the last time in the Premier League was like, what was it, 4 years ago now? Yeah, that is actually a little bit mad now when I think about it. That is a little bit mad. 7 managerial changes in 5 years after being relegated. There's probably more that I can't think of the top of my head. So yeah, try and get this club to sustainability. You look at their team again, and it obviously doesn't excite you. You know, it really doesn't. It's a very meh squad. There are a few players in here which do look really exciting, like Rudoni. He's a sick player at 6'9" overall at 22 years of age. Wiles, 24 at 65, really well rounded. Diarra, 19 years of age at 64 overall. Looks like a great youngster to try and improve. Casamua, 23 years of age, another really well rounded player. Sobra Thomas, 24 at 70 overall. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Okay, I think I'm fine. But yeah, Huddersfield, definitely a club I'd suggest doing. Try and rebuild them to get them back into the Premier League. They do have 6 million, though financially they're not in the best of ways. They have massively struggled financially over recent years. If you're looking for signings, look at lower league English players, you know, so lower league, League 1, League 2, or Premier League loanees. They've had quite a few good loanees over recent years. Larry Colwell is probably one of the most notable ones after spending a loan from Chelsea, who was brilliant for them during their promotion, their playoff and / promotion run, but unfortunately fell out in the playoff final against Nottingham Forest. So yeah, they've always had a lot of players out on loan to them, Huddersfield Town, and yeah, I think that'd be a really good team to do a career mode on. The final team that I suggest you is probably, we all know, guaranteed it was going to be in here, is Pompey. Pompey, absolutely phenomenal in real life under their new manager, John Messino, something like that. Yeah, great young manager, so I feel like maybe trying to recreate him would be quite cool. I do think that Pompey have spent too many years in League 1, more than they definitely should have, and they always seem to be the club that are nicknamed the promotion favourites, you know, every single season, but they always don't seem to get there. You look at their squad here, and there's loads of players you can highlight here as absolutely phenomenal players. Colby Bishop, 70 overall at 26. Championship level striker, you know, really good. Kamara on the left, 19 years of age, 60 rated. He is such a phenomenal and a delightful player to watch. So technical, so good, quick, pace. He can create something out of nothing. He's a really good player. And this Pompey squad is definitely well suited. Could easily get promoted with this team without making any signings or any departures. They've got a really good, exciting team. Loads of exciting talent. A young squad as well. Lots of, player competition in areas like, so you look at goalkeeper Norwich, you've got Schofield as another option, you got Rafferty and Swanson, 2 really good right backs compete with each other. You look at the defenders, you got Sean Agezi, Raggett, Paul, Towler. Left back you got Sparks and Ogilvy. Right mid you got Lane, Scully, White. The midfielders you got Lowry, Stevenson, Pack, Morel. You got Kamara, Scully, White again, maybe Josh Martin. Yengi can even play there. In the cabinet you got Robertson, Tino, Devlin. And in the striker position you got Bishop, Saidi and Yengi as well. So loads of options. Obviously, you know, in terms of specific objectives, they change for everybody, the overall club's objectives. But most likely, this one will stay the same. You've got to win the league. You've got to try and get promoted with the team originally. You do have a decent budget for League 1, one of the highest budgets in the league. But there's not really much to look at, you know, really to try and sign. In terms of their squad, though, initially, in terms of players they've got on loan at the club, Kamara is on loan from Norwich, Robertson is on loan from Man City, and Tino is on loan from Chelsea. It'll be very difficult to get Robertson and Tino both game time at the same time, so I feel like you might need to sacrifice one for the other. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video on the channel. If you guys have, make sure to drop it a like and subscribe. Have a great day, everybody, and I shall see you all soon. Take care.